Hey guys, Matt from the Rugby Drum here. Just had to give myself an hour or so to calm down after the big England Wales game. I still can't quite believe it. It's in my fairness, I did predict it, but yeah, I can't believe it played out like that. Considering England just absolutely dominated the game for, you'd be 70 to 75 minutes. Wales were opportunists, and they took the opportunities when they were invited to. Starting, I won't go through all the players, but I'll point some out that I found were quite underwhelming, and others who I thought were quite good. England, their set pieces looks good, which is something Australia will be concentrating on next week. Because England's scrum, their lineouts, I mean, yeah, Youngs hasn't been throwing too great lately, but his work rate's extremely high. He's tackling a lot, so he's a quality player. So it's just little tinkerings, I guess, that England need to do ahead of next week. But their scrum absolutely tore Wales apart. Wales looked like, it was World Cup warm-up match Wales where they played Ireland, and they were absolutely torn apart at the set piece at the scrum. So it was very surprising. There's not many matches that you see a team so outplayed in the set piece that you actually see get the win in the end. So the set piece was huge. I mean, that's usually the bread and butter of winning teams, and considering England dominated it so heavily, the fact that they didn't win is even more frustrating, and something that Stuart Lancaster must be so incredibly frustrated. Coming from someone who doesn't support, I guess, either team, gave you quite a good insight, because not many the teams weren't willing to show their hands that much during the match until about the 60th minute, almost bang on the 60th minute, they just exploded, and suddenly they're getting it wider. And I mean, as soon as Wales got it past Scott Williams at 13, let's hope he's all right. Although the injury didn't look too good, getting on the stretcher. As soon as it got past Scott Williams, they looked dynamic. I mean, you get George North out back, you got Hallam Amos, you've got Liam Williams, who I don't think looks fit at the moment, but England just didn't have much answer for them when they went out wide. Speaking about who was really impressive, I guess is Dan Biggar, of course. I mean, someone who's that reliable with the boot. I mean, Lee Halfpenny is irreplaceable, but Dan Biggar certainly stepped up to I mean, he looks like he's about to break into the version of a worm, that dance move when he kicks. But no, he was very good, and I think he directed play well. He knew when to kick and when to run, although I do think his kicking game was kind of iffy. But Warburton, I mean, today I predicted Warburton to shine, and he did. He did that. He's a great leader, and I wouldn't say they dominated at the breakdown, but England, Tom Wood just went absolutely missing, and Wales just kind of didn't dominate at the breakdown exactly, but really took it to them, and England didn't really cope very well. I mean, you look at who went missing. I know Jeff Parling's coming back from injury, but he didn't look good. I mean, Courtney Laws, he did what he could in his position, but you get Tom Wood, your 6, and you get Jeff Parling at 5, who just wasn't good enough, I'm afraid. And that's really where the game was won and lost, even though the midfield was predicted that it would be won and lost. It wasn't. I mean, Burgess, everyone said he would be good enough, but it's not the good enough that gets it. It's not being sufficient doesn't win you games. It's being great. And Burgess, as good as he wasn't great. He was sufficient. He didn't really change the game. So, Lancaster's. Their campaign's not going to win or lose on how Burgess plays by any means. But the changing moments for me during the match was definitely the injuries. You just saw that the exact opposite occur between Wales and England when the injuries came. I mean, when Billy Vunipola went off, England just lost that drive forward. They lost that the ability to carry the ball over the gain line. I know James Haskell does a good job, but he doesn't look that great to me. And England just lost that momentum, which let Wales slowly get into it. So England didn't react to those injuries very well. In saying that, Wales, I mean, I can't take my hat off to them enough with how they reacted to their injuries. I mean, no wonder Warren Gatland's, going really grey, because he's absolutely had a nightmare injury toll. And I mean, hats off to them to be able to do that with all those injuries. That is amazing. A lot of work to be done with the set piece before they meet Australia. I mean, England still might go through. I mean, if they go back, they've got a solid set piece. They get back, maybe Ford back at 10, and then I guess you get Slade at 12, Barrett at 13, Burgess at 13. They can really trouble Australia, but I'm not sure tonight. Didn't really look like they could. Then again, saying that, they dominated for 70, 75 minutes of the game. So, I mean, I'll do this all in a wash-up tomorrow as well, before the games tomorrow afternoon. But yeah, it was very disappointing from England's point of view. I don't want to see the host nation out. I mean, that would, I guess, take a bit of spice out of the tournament. But you're going to want a lot more out of your players, your Tom Woods. Even saying that, Chris Robshaw, I said today he's not the best 7 in England, and I still don't think he is. He was outplayed. He's not a pilferer. I mean, I know he never has been, but he wasn't that great. And yeah, I think that's the back row, and the second row was really where it was, momentum lost, momentum gained. Wales, hats off to them. Gareth Davis, he was that try to do that was amazing. The 70th minute on the full sprint, pick up the ball like that. Yeah, it was incredible. So yeah, great game to watch. See you guys tomorrow.